Hello everyone, welcome to 2 and 3D. If you are new, please give us a sub. It will help us and it will also help you to be able to get more contents like this from us. Okay, so straight to the video now. I was given this particular kind of character. This character is a unique character from most of the characters I've made, because this character, I'm supposed to actually make this character have these shadings, which I do not normally do. I normally make the characters flat and maybe just add a few shading, but this character is really densely detailed. So you can see even the bling and stuff are very detailed, and I had to upscale the actual image. This is not the image that I'm definitely going to use. This is just so that my system is not lagging. There is a higher quality version of it that I upscaled, so that's for a different video. Okay, so what I'm supposed to do is create this character and make it. There's a particular package that I have, so it's like the highest package that the client paid for. So I'm supposed to make this character's hand to have all those movements normally, and I'm supposed to be able to make this character's head move forward, frontal, to make it frontal, and also make it face this way, that is the right. And also I'm supposed to make this character, the entire character, be able to turn left or turn right, and even walk and stuff like that, and make the head also in all these profiles to have those movements. So this client of mine actually had someone else made work on this character, but he was not really satisfied, and that was when he contacted me. So this is the version. I'm not sure if I should be showing somebody else's work, but actually he gave me permission to actually do this, make a video out of this. So this guy made this character in Photoshop, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but for me, this character is not character that has those kind of shadings that you need to work. You need to make it in Photoshop. It's better to stick with vector. As you can see, as I'm zooming in, you can see the pixelation, which doesn't really make the character very flexible, especially if you want to zoom into his eyes. So the quality of the video becomes a bit blurry, which is you could do that, but then all right, well, me, I won't go that route anyway. So he made so many mistakes that I actually will not want to discuss that much in this video. Like, for instance, this hand, he's supposed to hold a mic, which is another trigger that I'm definitely going to be adding. He's supposed to be able to hold the mic to his face. This is not looking good at all. This is not how you pose a hand, and it just feels like he just cropped out a bit of the hand and just turned it. So maybe I'll break this video into several parts. This would be like a correctional part, a correctional phase. So you want the character to look a bit realistic. This is not how you do it. You do not break the hands and just flip the hands and just this does not look good, honestly. I don't know, but it doesn't look good. Let me turn off the other profile so that we can concentrate on this one. And then this guy made aside from this mistake, the hand just goes from default. So he just made two cycles, and he charged a lot. He charged about $150 for this. So the hands just move from like the default position and then straight up to this, which does not look good when you're animating the character. Let me just try to see if I can show you how that looks in CH. So let's move to CH. I think I have the character. Okay, yes, I do have the character there. So let's move to CH now. Now if I select the puppet and then I create new triggers, you can see the amount of triggers that he created are not really much. They are just head turn, body turn, and that was it. And the body turn is not even a trigger. It's just when you press right, the character starts moving. You press the left arrow key and the character starts moving the other way. So that's just it. And as you can see, if I just press this button, you just see that it just moves. It's just one frame. It just moves like that. The hand just moves with the mic appears from nowhere and the guy just takes it to his mouth, and that doesn't look good. I don't know, it doesn't look good. And the way the hand breaks, you can see this blue spot is supposed to be at the right, but then it just breaks and then it switches position to this point. This is not how you do it. So normally, even if you're going to make this like this, you're supposed to make it in cycles, so his hands are supposed to move, like maybe add in 2 frames in between. As if you do not want to even do so much work, you could just add 2 frames in between and that's it. And one other thing he did not do was the eyebrow. He did not work on the eyebrow, so you have to rely on the camera to be able to control the brows. So let me just try to do that. And this is fine if that is what you are going for, but one big issue with this is there's a limitation to what you can do with this kind of with using relying on the software itself. Like okay, let's say you want the eyebrow to show that angry. It's a bit difficult to do that, and maybe if you get it, it doesn't really do it that well. I'm really squinting right now, really squinting, but still not getting it right. So that's another thing. And if you want to make the character do that position of like surprise, or not really surprised, but like inquisitive, like one eyebrow down and the other one raised, kind of thing like that, you cannot get that using this, which is why I always use cycles instead for this kind of for stuffs like this. It's better to use cycles. And even when the head switches, like when he turns his head to frontal, there's just a way it looks like it doesn't move right. So this part is this is supposed to move towards the center since it's turning. Okay, there's a dragger here, which is fine, but yeah, the problem with draggers is it has this kind of problem with anyway. Well, I believe this should be, I don't know, maybe let me look for more corrections. I'm just going to make this video about corrections, things that you can add to your own puppet and to make it a bit more lively and way better. So I do not rely on the facial what is it called, the camera movement for animating my puppet, because it's a bit limiting. It's better to use a dragger here, that's if you want to move the head, the whole body and stuff like that, or use a cycle, or you just use a new trigger completely. So well, that's it. So let's move back to to Adobe Illustrator. My bad. So another thing I noticed with his puppet or his Photoshop file is the mouth. So let's go to the mouth and I will show you some of these things. Like you see, this is supposed to be it's not labeled right because this is a PSD file that I imported into Adobe Illustrator, so the naming is a bit wrong. So it's just picking it as image because these are invisible stuffs, and it did not pick the detail, so you only picked just the image and put it in. So this is supposed to be like a woo thing, but then this is the real mouth. And if you notice, this is the default, this is the neutral position of the mouth, and it's labeled right because that is the one that was imported. But then if I put in something like an this portion goes up and this portion goes down, and this will make like a flappy kind of mouth, those kind of like those sock puppet kind of sock puppet, no, not sock puppet, those puppet mouths like Ernie, those kind of mouth that flaps upward and like moves the entire head. Is fine if that is what you're going for. I've actually made a character that way. I've actually made a puppet character, an actual puppet, like a puppet of a puppet. So I've actually made that way, and I had to flip the head, and you keep flipping the head upwards like to make that kind of movement. But for realistic human beings or realistic characters that the head doesn't move like an actual puppet, the upper lip doesn't move that much. It just stays in like, doesn't move that much. If it even moves, it just moves a bit upward, but the lower lip is the one that moves more. So that is what you need to do when you're working on the mouth. Just so initially I was sent this puppet as a reference. I even thought in my mind, I was like, okay, maybe I'll be able to use certain things like maybe the mouth so that to ease my work. But then looking at this, I cannot even use, I've not been able to use anything from this. I might use the mic, maybe just fix the mic a bit, but the mouth, I cannot use the mouth. And his eyes does not move, the eye just stays the same, and from here it blinks. That is not right. You do not make puppets like that. The eyes are supposed to be able to go downwards a little, just so that you can get, especially when you want to stress that he's angry, when you want to give him that angry behavior kind of thing, you need to do some certain things around the eye, so you'll be able to activate that trigger, and then you put the angry eyebrow. And then yeah, basically what he did was Photoshop work, cut out this, cut this, and place this and stuff like that. And even when the character moves to the right, like, it doesn't look very natural, so there are supposed to be stuff that you're supposed to redraw. But I think this guy did not want to go to the rigor of redrawing, which is fine. But there's a way you can manipulate the image just to make it look a bit like there's a parallax, like there's a movement. When the character turns, it will look a bit better. I believe this is a turn. So you see, okay, yes. Now look at this. What he did here was to scale this. He just scaled this body like this. Let me try to do something like that. So he just scaled it. Okay, for some reason I cannot get the transform. I don't know why. Okay, yes, this is it. So he just did something like this and then arranged it, which will not make the thing look, would not make the puppet look good. The least you should be able to do is to move this center position towards the right a bit, because the body still remains the same shape a bit. So all you just need to do is move something like this. And even if you want to go, you could use a warp tool for this, or you could use what is it called? Is it, I believe it's here, not this perspective. Yes, good. Use the perspective. I need to get rid of this. Yes, the perspective. So I cannot do it here right now because this is not a vector file, but you should be able to manipulate, make something like, make a shape sort of like he's bending a bit, like he's rotating a bit, kind of. So this video, I don't want it to be too long, so I believe this should be enough. And if I have more corrections, I will definitely work on that and post it. So I'm actually reworking on this character, and as you can see, some of the things that I have done, how I do it, and I will actually go into that tutorial, which I've actually gone a bit far, but I'll continue the tutorial I'll just continue drawing and I'll be recording from there. So what you notice is I've added certain things, like if I open this up, this is a transparent white background, just so that you can see it clearly. So this is the nose, and I actually went in, these are vector files. You can zoom in as much as you want, and no pixelation. Let me just remove this. No pixelation, so it goes as far as possible. These two, the same thing. Okay, I forgot to paint this, so let me just do that quickly. Okay, so these are actually vector, and you can see you zoom as much as possible and nothing really changes. And what I did with the eyes you can see, so up to blink, like I'm still working on it, up to blink, like, and then he blinks. If I get rid of this, you'll be able to see that. So the eyes opens. Let's do it from here. You see it's becoming wider and wider and wider, and then it takes the default position, the normal eyes, and then it becomes, this is extreme wide. So you need to make your puppet this way. It's not like it takes a bit of time, but anything that is worth doing better, or doing right rather. So thank you for watching. Please give us a like, give us a sub. It will really help us, and it will help us reach more people, and it will also help you to get more of our content in the future. Thank you, and bye for now.